So, Real Madrid have done it again in the preseason friendly. This is the second match of this preseason, and because tonight Madrid are missing some of their biggest stars like Mbappe, Bellingham, Courtois. लेकिन उसके बावजूद भी Real Madrid managed to beat Ferencváros by 2-1. And the most interesting part, the youngster actually stole the show. Mario Rivas scored. Carlos Espí scored his first goal for Real Madrid. Arda Güler, we need to talk about that player particularly. And we also saw the first minutes of Bernardo Silva and Vinicius Junior in the preseason. So what exactly happened? Who impressed the most, and what can Mourinho take from this game? Let's break it down. So let's first talk about the starting 11. Mourinho clearly wanted to experiment tonight. First of all, Lunin started in the goal with Dumfries at the right back, Juan Martinez and Mario Rivas, and Carreras in defense, and also in midfield we had Camavinga, Valverde, and with Arda Güler played in a more advanced role. And up front, Madrid had Alexis Syria, Brahim Diaz, and Enrique. And this is the starting 11 of this match. Now, obviously, this wasn't Real Madrid's strongest possible 11, but that's exactly why this game was important. Mourinho wanted to see which youngsters are ready for the first team, and honestly, some of them gave him a very good headache tonight, and especially Mario Rivas and Carlos Espí. Hats off to them. A great shout out to these two. And from the opening minutes, Madrid looked quite comfortable, quietly very comfortable tonight, and they were controlling position and trying to build the game patiently. It wasn't the kind of high intensity football that you normally see in a competitive Champions League match, and that's completely understandable. This is still pre-season. The main objective is fitness, tactics, and giving players minutes. In midfield, Camavinga and Valverde provided a really good balance at the first half. And once again, Arda Güler looked comfortable between the lines. I mean, we need to talk about Arda Güler. I mean, his first touch, passing, and movement were really sharp. उसने आज जो किया अलग था. And I think Mourinho की इस Real Madrid के लिए he is one of the best अगले मतलब इस सीजन के लिए. I think yeah, I mean, he's everything he did fantastic. But Madrid didn't have to wait too long for the opening goal, and the corner came in. The ball went into the box, and suddenly Mario Rivas, he's our defender. He's a Castilla defender, and what a header! Goal! Real Madrid in front at I think 40 or 35 to 40 minutes at some point. And this was a huge moment for the young defender, because scoring for Real Madrid is obviously special. Obviously, it's a pre-season game, and we all know that. But scoring for Real Madrid, it's very special. But doing it when you are trying to convince the manager that you deserve first team opportunities. After the goal also, Madrid continued to control the game, and Ferencváros were trying to press and create chances, but Madrid was generally very comfortable. Valverde was covering a lot of ground tonight, and Camavinga was helping Madrid progress the ball, and Arda Güler was consistently trying to find pockets and some spaces in the front. One thing I really liked was Madrid movement in attack, and players weren't just standing in fixed position. They were constantly rotating and trying to create passing options, but at some point Madrid weren't perfect. There were a few moments where Ferencváros managed to get behind the defensive line, and that's something Mourinho will definitely have to work out, because against a stronger opponent, those small defensive mistakes can become very costly. But overall, Madrid went into halftime with a 1-0 lead, and then came the second half, and that's where things got really interesting. Mourinho started making changes, I think, and suddenly some very familiar faces started appearing. First, Bernardo Silva. This was his first appearance for Real Madrid, and honestly, Even before he touched the ball, Madrid fans were excited, very much excited, and because Bernardo brings something different. He's extremely intelligent. He can play in midfield. He can move higher up. He can create chances, and most importantly, he knows how to control the tempo of the game. And then Vinicius Junior entered the pitch. Vinny was also making his first appearance of the preseason, and obviously every Madrid fan knows what he can. But tonight wasn't about expecting Vinny to destroy the opposition. It was about getting minutes, building fitness, and getting back into rhythm. And while the big stars were returning, one of Madrid youngster was about to make another big statement. Carlos Espí. Madrid started another attacking move. The ball moved quietly through midfield. Players players combined, and eventually the ball reached Carlos Espí. And assist from Fede Valverde, and he didn't hesitate. He finished it beautifully and scored a banger. And at that point, Real Madrid led 2-0, and this was a very special moment for Carlos Espí because this was his first goal for Real Madrid. Imagine being a young player playing alongside stars like Vinicius, Bernardo Silva, Fede Valverde, like wearing that famous white shirt, and then scoring your first goal. That's moment you'll remember forever. And from Mourinho's perspective, this is exactly what he wants to see: young players taking their chance. Because when the competitive season starts, you won't get unlimited opportunities, and if you get 20 minutes, you have to make those 20 minutes count. And Carlos Espí definitely did that tonight. Now let's talk about the players who impressed me the most. I think it's Mario Rivas. A goal, good defensive work, and a confident performance. For a young academy player, this is exactly what you want. Then I think Carlos Espí. We need to talk about him. First Real Madrid goal for him, big moment, and hopefully this gives him even more confidence. Then we have Arda Güler. Honestly, Güler continuously to look more and more comfortable, and his movement between the lines is really good. And when he gets a freedom to create, he can become a serious problem for defenders and for the opposition. And finally, Bernardo Silva. He didn't need to score. He didn't need to provide an assist. His presence itself was important. He brings experience, intelligence, and versatility. And once the entire squad is available, it will be really interesting to see exactly how Mourinho uses him. Now let's talk about, does this result mean for Real Madrid? Okay, let's not overreact. This was a preseason friendly. You can't judge an entire season based on a 2-1 victory against Ferencváros, but there are definitely some positive signs. The youngsters are hungry. Güler is looking confident. Bernardo has started his Madrid journey. Vinny is getting back into action, and the squad is slowly becoming complete. And but Mourinho still has some question to answer. Can Madrid improve defensively? How will Bernardo Silva fit into the midfield? And how much freedom will Güler get? And most importantly, can one of these academy players actually break into the first team? Because performances like tonight make the possibility more realistic. So guys, my overall verdict: positive result for Real Madrid, 2-1 victory, 2 goals from young players. Mario Rivas with a big statement, Carlos Espí with the his first Real Madrid goal, Güler continuing to impress, Bernardo Silva making his first appearance, and Vinny finally getting his first minutes of this preseason. Yes, Ferencváros managed to create a chance and scored a goal, but that's what a preseason is all about: testing players, trying different systems, building fitness, and finding out who is ready for the real competition. This season getting closer, and if this youngster continue performing like this, Mourinho is going to have some very difficult decisions to make. Now, I want to know your opinion. Who was your man of the match, Mario Rivas or Carlos Espí or Arda Güler? Comment your answer below, and if you are a Real Madrid fan, you already know what to do. Like the video, subscribe to PR7, and I'll see you in the next one. Hala Madrid.